I'm always super hyped to catch up with an artist that I've been spinning a lot on the show. And Fizzy Blood are back. Makes me very happy that we have a new single. I'm joined tonight by Paul and Jake. How are you doing?
Very
We're
good. Yeah,
good.
thanks.
You're back with a bang. How does it feel?
It feels good. It feels less like a bang and more like a really slow, very controlled explosion. But um, yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Nice to be putting some music out again after all these years.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming at this point. Obviously, everyone bangs on about COVID, but we were due to sort of get this out, and then the vinyl delays pushed everything back as they have with every other band in the world. So yeah, it is what it is. But here we are now. We're happy to be doing it.
But when you've got a more extensive lineup and things have been like they have been in lockdown, it'd be quite difficult to kind of find systems to work and share music, or even
Well,
to work out diaries to get together in a room together when you were
I
able to.
mean,
That is
to be fair, I mean, we've never all there's only been very small pockets of time where we've all lived in the same place anyway. So the one thing we're probably quite good at is sticking to our diaries. So yeah, we've had a lot of practice at that over the years.
yeah, but we do. We're all getting, especially as we get more into other things, we're all getting busier and busier, and I think it does sometimes get hard to get us all in a room together. Um, but yeah. I mean, the process though has been obviously like a lot of the stuff will start with me or Benji, and we'll kind of write something and then take it to everyone else. So it's not hard to get tunes, like sort of done, and everyone's pretty proficient at this point at recording. Um, especially like just recording themselves at home, so we can definitely write pretty effectively, but it's more, yeah, it's the rehearsal side. It's
Yeah,
hard to find time.
yeah. I'm very much looking forward to like actually going on tour and playing the songs, because you put so much work in on the rehearsals, and it's me and Paul live in London now, so like we've been traveling up together every other weekend to Leeds, which is great because we get to drink cheaper pints and see our friends, but it's also a lot of hard work spent hungover in a practice room. So we're looking forward to going out and playing some shows and getting back into the swing of things again for a week.
I mean, you're very much known as a live band. I mean, you've been around the circuit for quite a few years, and I'm really surprised almost now we're having this conversation that the debut album isn't already out there. But
Mm.
obviously, you're out on tour next week. Where are you heading? What can we expect?
We're going, we're just doing a few dates next week, starting on Monday in Birmingham, and then we're going on to London, then Leeds, and then Manchester. So that's starting on Monday and finishing on Thursday. So it's quite a nice short little run of some cities where we've had great experiences in the past and are close to our story as a band. Yeah, and what people can expect is hopefully something a little bit fresh. When we were touring and we came off the road to write an album, and we've been touring the same songs, I guess, effectively for for years. And the set sort of changes a little bit, but this is all new. There's gonna be like some golden oldies in there for sure, and stuff for people to enjoy, that they'll have heard and be familiar with. But it's a new type of performance, a new space for us to inhabit. Dynamically, it's very different from
Yeah.
what we performed in the
Yeah,
past.
it's been quite interesting actually putting the set together, because we used to basically get on stage and just play really loudly for 30 minutes. So it's been quite nice to actually, try and figure it out and like play some peaks and troughs and not just be like, here's just some riffs for 30 minutes, which is also very fun. Like it was weird. I think we were all kind of in a place where we were kind of dreading playing the old stuff, because I mean, it's nearly 10 years old now, some of it. And we were like, I just don't know how this is going to sit, but it's really funny. Like we started playing it and it was just so fun to do it now. It's almost come back round full circle. And it's been really, really nice to like pull them out the cupboard and dust them off again and be like, I actually love playing these songs.
So how do you think your sound has changed over the course of that 10 years?
Oh, massively. Well, I mean, for one, like, there's like uh a song that we put out recently that, the segments of it are just synth and vocals, and then some of it sounds like Earth, Wind and Fire, or at least to us it does. And there are songs on the record that have like these weird vocoder choirs, and some songs that don't have guitar. We started out like very much like a guitar band, and like the songs were all quite aggressive, and they all had a very rigid, structured like format. They adhere to that kind of pop song way of thinking. But there are songs on this record that are 6 minutes long and don't have a verse or a chorus. They're just like one long thing. There are songs that are a minute long. So it's, like there's definitely a much more a lot of variance and creative freedom on the record, I think.
I think you get that from writing a record though, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Because we were very much swept up in the touring circuit and always on the road. The only songs we'd really ever write were pop songs, because we just wanted to be on the radio all the time so we could keep touring and being on the road. And then when you get so long away and like away from it, I know as Paul as a songwriter probably just had way more time to just like mess around and was listening to loads of different music, and that that comes out in this record, I think. And it's been really freeing for all of us to be able to do that.
Yeah, and we've collaborated with people. We've got our good friend Lemfrek on one of the tracks, and Dead Nature on another, who bring something different sonically to. I'll obviously like Lemfrek's. I mean, he's an amazing singer, but he's a rapper. So, and that's something that's an area of music that we've always appreciated but never explored until now. So, yeah.
So lots to be explored on the debut record when it lands in January. Pan Am Blues. Why that title?
It's a bit. Well, I suppose it's quite a funny story. We were going to call the record something else, and it was called something else for about 3 years, and then it actually came to we were having to actually discuss releasing it and doing the artwork, and then we quickly realised that no one could pronounce the title apart from us. Yeah. So me and Paul loosely discussed the themes of the record, and I went away and did some digging, and it's the album is sort of, it's quite dystopian and sort of loosely based around the end of sort of a golden era, and that's kind of led me to look into like Pan American Airlines and how the golden era of air travel died out. And then I got into this deep research hole, and found out that they had this color called Pan Am Blue, and I just thought that was really cool, and kind of put it in the band.
Blues, because it sort of captures that melancholy and that feeling of like ennui with like modern, like just modern like apathy, and like wanting to escape that. And obviously while we were making it, like you couldn't fly anywhere, so it felt right.
Did you record with anyone, or is it all kind of self-contained, self-produced, etc.?
So it's been recorded pretty piecemeal, in a lot of different places. We did have a lot of help from our friends at Green Mountain, the engineering side of things. Shout out Lee and Jamie, there, and Rob. They're great guys. They helped us with a lot of like, just I guess the functional engineering of stuff, but the record is pretty much completely self-produced. Yeah. And it's our first record that is that way.
Well, you've been at it for quite some time. You must have picked up a lot of skills along the way.
Yeah, you what there's like a saying, but I can't remember what it is. It's not like you don't break, it's not, I'm thinking of breaking eggs and omelets, but that's not the right sentiment. But just imagine I said something really funny.
No, it's almost like that confidence as well that comes with the experience that you've had over, you know, quite a lengthy period of time to explore sound.
Yeah.
I mean, are there any songs on the album that you think you can really hear that in, you know, your musical journey reflected due to your skills and your experience now?
You can kind of, chronologically, you can kind of hear the songs get a bit weirder as if like as the writing process goes on. So like the first track we wrote for the album was Pearly Whites. And that's kind of pretty straightforward song structure, but we were exploring different sounds, and that kind of got us excited about making a record again. And then I think Paul, there's a song called Last Orders, which is on the record, which arrangement wise is really different to anything we've ever done. And then one of the later songs Paul wrote was Center of Nowhere, which was our last single, which I think is definitely the most out there track we've put out. It's like a 1.5-minute intro, and the same again outro. But yeah, we absolutely love doing that.
So I've been playing Pearly Whites of late, obviously the lead track. You sent it to us, uploaded it, and on the description it told us about the debut album, and I was like, wow, okay. But that was also one of the first tracks you wrote for the record, like you just said. What's it about? Because it's about it's some current themes that are very kind of, you know, fresh in the mind with current lifestyles, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's about people's the unhealthy relationship between what you project in a public. Everyone's, you know, in a public forum nowadays. Everyone's on a soapbox, and you're always available to be fed back to, whether you want to or not, about your appearance, about how you live your life, about everything. And it's about the unhealthy relationship between that and what that does to your self-image. So like talking about things like Instagram, you know, Instagram filters. If you always see yourself and all your friends like with a blemish remover on, like when you look at your actual skin, which is perfectly fine, you know, you're gonna think it looks horrible. It's, yeah, exactly. So it's about that. It's about self-image. It's about social media. It's about the way that we perceive each other nowadays and ourselves.
There's so many songs coming through our uploader at the moment with similar themes. Why do you think it's so important to kind of express this through music?
Well, music is what like people, I was gonna say young people, that makes me sound like a dinosaur, but you know, like you grow up and you form your opinions and your sense of self and who you are at an age where, you know, the bands that you find, the bands you like and stuff. So it's really important for bands, I think, to talk about things like that, because the people who are going to hear that message are exactly the people who might need to hear it.
So the album's come in January. Is there anything else that we can expect? Any digital content, any videos, or any other collaborations you've been doing?
Oh yeah, well, like I said, we just put out a 3-part thriller series. We were talking about before the interview. It's also called Pan and Blues. It's on our YouTube now. Go check it out. We're gonna have some more stuff coming out. We got something cool dropping on Monday, just for people to hopefully get excited about the start of the tour and celebrate us being back on the road. So some new music coming, some new visuals. And then I guess we'll have, when the album comes out in January, I think in a couple of weeks we're going to go and shoot a video that we've been talking about recently that we're pretty excited about the idea for. So there'll be lots of stuff to
Another single coming with the album release as well.
dig into. There'll be a single which is a I can't describe it any other way than a big old banger. It's, you know, it's an unashamed pop song, and that'll be nice to do something like that. So
we are loosely discussing getting a cinema somewhere and doing a showing of our 3-part series, which we will announce probably sometime after the tour. We just need to get our ducks in a row, so keep your ears out for that.
That sounds amazing. What can you tell us about the 3-part series? It sounds really interesting.
again, it's allegorical. Like it's just it's kind of like, you know, we were inspired by a lot of that like anthological stuff that's like Love, Death and Robots, Black Mirror, even Aesop's fables. You know, they have they have a point, and they say something about you know, they just express a point of view about where we might be headed, and that it ties into that's what the whole album's about, I guess. So it's 3 episodes. Each one was directed and helped along by a different creative team, but there's a central plot. It's about the first ever murder on reality television, the lead up to and fallout of, and you know how people deal with that. It's darkly funny. It's very weird, and it's beautiful. It looks amazing. So people should definitely go and check it out. And it's got
Shout
our
out
music
to
in it
Dave
too.
as well.
What more could you want? All that and a bag of chips.
Absolutely. Sounds essential as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully something new dropping on Monday and tour dates next week.
Yeah,
Sounds like
definitely.
you're going to be so busy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight,
Thank
Paul
you.
and Jake. It's a pleasure to chat to you excited about the debut album finally landing.
Thanks, Shell. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
been a long time coming. We really appreciate you having us on. Thank you.